Hello and welcome to today's video where I invite a girl or, well, a woman onto the show who has a delightful level of English and one that I think will inspire you to work on your pronunciation. So let's get straight into this conversation where I ask her all sorts of questions that will help you understand how she has gotten to this point in her language learning journey, especially when it comes to pronunciation. Let's start that intro thing. Yes, we have Maria Speaks English. Hello, Maria. How are you doing?
Hi, Charlie. I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Absolute pleasure. Yeah. So when did you start this journey of becoming a content creator and English teacher online, particularly TikTok and Instagram?
The pandemic came around. The pandemic, came into our lives. And then I just decided to just jump into the online world and just give it a try. Actually, my boyfriend was the one who told me, Maria, you should be on TikTok. You're gonna kill it. You're gonna smash it. You have to be there. So I just paid attention to his wise words, and here we are, a year later.
When you make your content, are you thinking particularly for a specific type of learner?
Well, what I usually do when I'm creating content is just to ask myself, all right, Maria, what would you like to see? Like if you were on the other side of the screen as a viewer, as a follower, what would you like to be taught? What would you find interesting? Whatever. Like I ask myself those kinds of questions. And that's always how I come up with all the ideas and all the videos and stuff. That is, I think when you're creating content, the key thing is just to have common sense. When you have common sense and when you just stick to your values and also to your way of doing things, and if you stick to it, if you stick to a certain way of doing things and you ask yourself, is this right? Would I like to see this? Would I find this useful? Things work, in my opinion. I think common sense is the key to creating content.
And I have created a worksheet for you to access for free that covers some of the vocabulary and definitions in this video. If you would like to access it, all you need to do is click the link in the description box. You enter your name and your email address, and then you will immediately get access to a bunch of free resources I have taken a long time to make for you. So click that link in the description box that says free worksheet, and you can enjoy that whilst consuming this episode. When did you start enjoying English or languages? Did you have another language before
No,
English?
Not really. Like English has always been my best friend and will always be my best friend, let's say. I started to become obsessed with English. And I say obsessed because it's my way of just approaching things. When I'm learning a language, I just need to become completely obsessed with it in order to just, falling head over heels in love with that language. That's how I approach things. So basically how everything started, I was 8 or 9. I can't really remember. And then I remember that my mom, would play the classics, the English classics. She would put music on, in the kitchen. She would talk to me about Michael Jackson, Queen, Madonna, whatever, and she would play their music. So what my approach, what I thought about it instantly was, oh my God, I love this music. I love this kind of, things that I'm hearing, but I don't get a word. I don't understand what they're saying. So I remember I was 9 or 8, and I just felt the need to just completely understand their lyrics to their songs. So what I did basically was just to translate every single thing that I would, come across. I basically, I had a little notebook that I still have, by the way. And I would translate every single song that my mom would play to me in English.
Wow.
So, and then what happened? Well, that actually made me fall in love with music, and that made me fall in love with English. So that was kind of my perfect combination, like my perfect combo, because English made me understand music, and music made me understand English. So that's kind of that was kind of a beautiful relationship that I found there. And then what happened is that I opened up a YouTube account at age 11. And so what I basically did was to upload translations to my favorite songs. And it became really big. I'm not going to lie. It became quite, I think it was 2007, maybe 2008. And I got like 20,000 followers, which was a lot by the time. And the thing is, that was something I really enjoyed doing. That was something I really enjoyed. That was my hobby, actually, translating songs and listening and like fully immersing into, you know, the music and the lyrics was kind of my hobby and my favorite thing to do in the entire world. So that was kind of how I learned. I learned without even noticing that I was learning, without even realizing that I was learning. But yeah, wonderful. That's how I fell completely in love with English and music.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, you found a passion early on, you committed to it 100%, and it kind of fueled your English and it fueled your love of music. Yeah, that works really nicely. You mentioned a couple of bands there, some American, maybe some English as well, British. What was the major influence on you starting off? Was it American or mainly British, English? We rudely interrupt your viewing experience because you absolutely have to get our brand new free ebook and audiobook that will help anyone dramatically improve their IELTS speaking score. Click the link in the top right corner of the screen now, or find it in the description box below. Back to your viewing experience in 3, 2, 1. Starting off, was it American or mainly British, English, or another kind of English?
I'm going to say American English. Yeah, because all the input that I received was American. Like, all the movies I used to watch were pretty much, they were American. And the songs I listened to, they were American singers, American artists, and whatever. So I'd say that was the major input. That was American. There was a time in my life where I was completely in love with British culture and British, accent and everything. For example, I love Queen, I love Adele. So I love this kind of references really helped me with my British accent, I'm going to say.
Would you be able to do a British accent?
A British accent. I'd say I've had it for a while. But I say I feel so much more comfortable when it comes to having a American accent for some reason, because every time I have a British accent, I feel like I'm sort of imitating and sort of acting, which I don't really like. So that's why I went from completely having a full-on British accent to just sticking to an American one. So
amazing! I'm loving this. Absolutely loving this.
The thing is, since English is not my native language, I just tend to, to mimic everything I'm around. Everything I'm surrounded by. So yeah, but I just need to stick to one accent. That is very, very important. And I keep reminding myself, Maria, stick to one accent, because, this we should do.
That's a worthy point to make. I've had students who really enjoy mixing the two, and I'm learning Spanish, and I get a bit confused whether I'm learning, Spanish or South American Spanish. And I think it's interesting to obviously expose ourselves to both, but it is probably wise to stick to one, because natives who listen to you will find it very confusing. I think I find it confusing if somebody's throwing an American word in with a British accent or something like that. And yeah, it's kind of like, you know, if you're speaking to somebody locally who's from your area and then they suddenly use a word that's not from your area, you don't expect it. So it kind of makes sense. So American
please,
English
listeners, don't be like me. Stick to one accent, please. Truquito.
So you said that you focus very much on imitating, and you used music at the beginning. So I'm assuming it was also to do with imitating the way people were singing. Did that help you, do you think, kind of get a better understanding of, you know, sounds and connecting with sounds? Because I've had students where they really can't hear the difference between what they're saying and what I'm saying.
Actually, it's one thing that I use in my classes. What I usually do is I explain music, I explain, you know, songs and everything, and then I just make my students sing to the words, sing to the lyrics. And and they loved it. They loved it. And it's really helped them with their pronunciation, I have to say. So, in my opinion, that's it. That is the best way to improve your pronunciation. I'm not going to lie. Imitating and singing.
Okay, singing as well. Yeah, nice. Okay,
yeah.
I'll try and get my students singing. I do group classes. I'm not very good at singing, so I won't be able to encourage them. No, maybe I'll have to get you in on them.
Okay.
Now, if you wanted to listen to the full hour-long unedited version of this conversation with glossaries and transcripts, then head over to the British English podcast, and you can enjoy the full conversation where I ask Maria her opinion on how compatible the Brits and Spaniards are when dating. We also go into the cultural values of Spanish people, Maria's experiences when travelling abroad, and so much more. You can listen to that by clicking up in the top right corner or in the description box below, or by searching the British English Podcast on Spotify or wherever you like to listen to your podcasts. If you are a Spanish speaker learning English, then I highly recommend checking out Maria's TikTok and Instagram account, as they are full of quick, light-hearted yet educational posts helping beginner through to advanced English learners. And she is also getting rave reviews about her course covering tenses for beginners to intermediates, her phrasal verbs course, and her grammar course. So head over to mariaspeaksenglish.com or Maria Speaks English on TikTok and Instagram. Now, if this video was enough for you, then make sure to grab that free worksheet to help you remember the intermediate to advanced language that came up in context, and make it far more likely for you to be able to use it and not lose it. Hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Charlie. See you someday soon on here or every week on the British English Podcast.